สวัสดีครับ
Hello. This film will give you all the information you will need before arriving in Thailand to be a volunteer at the Father Ray Foundation. It will hopefully answer all your questions that you or your family may have.
Located 150 kilometers south of Bangkok in the city of Pattaya in Thailand, the Father Ray Foundation takes care of and educates more than 800 children and people with disabilities. As a volunteer, you will spend time in one or all of the projects. Some volunteers become full-time teachers at the Redemptorist Vocational School for people with disabilities. Others spend time at several projects. This includes the Pattaya School for the Blind, Father Ray Daycare Centre, Father Ray Drop-In Centre, Father Ray Children's Home and the Father Ray Children's Village. Each morning, a volunteer goes to visit Auntie, one of our elderly residents. She likes nothing better than gossiping and meeting new arrivals.
No crowd. No, only a little bit.
The Redemptorist Vocational School for People with Disabilities opened in 1984 with just 4 students. Today, the school trains more than 250 young adults. They spend 2 years receiving the education and skills they will need to find suitable employment and become independent members of society. More than 2,500 students have graduated from the school, and in the words of the late Father Ray, they are able to earn their own rice. All students receive English classes, and without the volunteers, no English would be taught at the school.
A cold. Good, I have a cold.
Each class lasts for 50 minutes, and the level of teaching is from basic to advanced level.
I work as a full-time teacher. I have 3 classes. I have 2 classes at Mahathai School, the school for disabled, and in the afternoon I teach the staff at Father Ray Village.
Have him call me back.
Part of the curriculum that I teach is trying to teach them various business English language skills that are used in business settings and specific business language that they learn to develop and use in real life.
What do you say?
On the corner of Mint and First.
Many new volunteers have no previous experience of teaching, but most have an enthusiasm to help others. We teach the volunteers how to teach. We offer guidance and assistance to prepare them for their classes. Part of the vocational school is the Job Club. Former students who are looking for work or young people who are hoping to enter our school could get help here. The Pattaya School for the Blind has been educating visually impaired children for more than 20 years.
The volunteers come to the School for the Blind 4 times a week. On 3 occasions we work with the smaller children, playing games, singing songs with them. It's great for us because we get to see their individual personalities come out, and I think they love it as well. On the other 4th time a week we work with the older children where we practice conversational English. Just basic English, sports, foods, the movies, what they do, what they want to do. 13th of June.
Children who enter the Father Ray Daycare Centre come from the poorest slums in Pattaya. Without the centre, many would be left on their own while their parents work. Or their parents would be unable to work as they cannot afford childcare facilities. We provide the children with uniforms, nutritional meals, medical care and an education. They are also given breakfast as many have no food at home. volunteers introduce the children to basic English.
As soon as you step into the room, they all come running to you and say, "Good morning, teacher." And they are so interested in learning, but you just have to make it fun for them.
Once classes are finished, volunteers assist the local staff at mealtimes, showering and putting the children to bed after lunch.
So we sit with them until they...
Yeah, I love that part where we tuck them in and have to pat them on their back.
Just as important is the time volunteers spend with the children. We cannot afford to hire more workers to play with them. We cannot afford to pay workers to give hugs to the children. So this is where the volunteers come in.
Just play with the kids and be with them. And
it's amazing how much you actually can communicate with them without speaking the same language.
Many youngsters run away from home. They are mainly driven away by poverty, but also because of abuse. And they make their way to Pattaya. However, their dreams of a better life are unlikely to come true. Many soon find themselves prostituting, begging, and getting involved in criminal activities. The Father Ray Drop-In Centre is a safe haven for children living on the streets of Pattaya. It offers these children a chance to change their lives for the better. They can choose to go back to school, or we will help them find work. Many go on to live at the Father Ray Children's Home. As the centre is a temporary shelter, we never know how many children and teenagers will be there. But when there are any residents, volunteers will visit on Saturday afternoons.
I go to drop-in center, and most time I like to play the card games with the children and also some other games.
The Father Ray Children's Home used to be known as the Home for Street Kids. We changed the name when we found that most children who arrived were not from the streets. Instead, they came from poor families who cannot afford to provide these children with a proper and decent life. At any one time, the home has around 150 residents. We seek to provide these children, teenagers and young adults with the opportunities to go further in life. If one of our residents wants to go to vocational school, college or university, we will cover the costs, just as any parent tries to. Volunteers visit the children's home on Saturday mornings.
Here at the Children's Home, we work with kids between the ages of 5 and 16.
Play football. Very good. Play football.
The others focus on English. I primarily teach music here. I have 5 students who are teenagers who I teach guitar. And some weeks I also work with the younger kids. There's about 60 of them who I teach ukulele to.